The INFJ female is a mesmerizing enigma within the Myers-Briggs Personality Type Indicator, MBTI discussion, but hard to truly fathom. What makes INFJ females different from other females? What sets INFJ females apart from INFJs in general?
INFJ female here. These are good questions.
As an INFJ male, I know at least 4 INFJ females. What better way to ask at least one of them to help me distill some of the INFJ female-specific traits and experiences for this video?
Thanks for having me. I'll do my best.
A big shout out to her. Let's dive in. 1. INFJ females are logical. Strictly speaking, in very general societal terms, there seems to be the trope that women prefer to operate more on feelings and emotions, whereas men prefer to operate more on logic and reason. Due to this general societal understanding and different expectations of females and males, INFJ females unexpectedly stand out due to being firmly rooted in both feelings and logic. Even though INFJs in general are known for their calm, sensible demeanor and quaint balance between feelings and logic, the particular INFJ's strong logical side may especially stand out in INFJ females because of the societal contrast and differential gender-sex expectations. What do you think, INFJ female?
Yes, you're right in that our logical side stands out more, or rather, we've learnt to strike a balance. We're emotional creatures, we're sad, we cry tears of angst as well. But I think when we're left alone to calm down and think our thoughts through, and slowly we analyze things through, that's where our logical, rational side kicks in. It also becomes apparent to our friends when we have deep one-on-one conversations with them, that we often approach issues in a more rational manner than most of our other counterparts.
Thanks for your insight. It seems to work the other way around for INFJ males, in which the INFJ's strong feeling nature stands out more to other people. Needless to say, we can expect a lot of individual variation of this level-headedness between INFJs. 2. INFJ females are less susceptible to social norms and peer pressure. INFJ females are a real paradox within social group settings. As INFJs, they are wired for social harmony due to their extroverted feeling, FE, cognitive function. INFJs are generally considerate, kind, generous, eager to help, and self-sacrificing. Females in general also seem to be more socially aware, adept, and self-sacrificing in favor of the group. The INFJ female therefore has great potential to socially be very astute and impactful. The downside, however, could be a heightened risk to sacrifice oneself too much for that social harmony, succumb to peer pressure, or become a people pleaser. However, contradictorily so, at the same time, INFJ females are very strong-minded, maverick personalities with an iconoclastic bent. Traits that seem to help insulate INFJ females from the pressure to conform, despite the heightened proclivity to succumb to that pressure due to their high social sensitivity. It seems that the INFJ female is always striving to keep a perfect balance between being socially well adapted to the social group's social setting at hand, while staying rooted in their autonomy, critical thinking, and sense of self. INFJ females can blend in any group and participate gracefully, but still remain somewhat on the outskirts of that group by choice, either physically, mentally, energetically, or all of the above. Could you share your thoughts, INFJ female?
You're on point again. Call it our stubborn streak, if you will. We especially don't conform to social norms because we find them, myself personally at least, extremely suffocating.
I don't understand. I don't understand, bitch. I don't understand. I don't understand, bitch.
We prefer to carve our paths, and also because we tend to have ideas, ideals, even thoughts which are considered by the mainstream to be eccentric. To us, independence trumps being a part of a group where we feel that our individuality is stifled or even mocked at. The more you force us to conform, the more we will rebel. For example, I've known not to conform to certain requests which friend groups or cliques made of me in the past. For instance, everyone dressing in a certain manner when heading out for, say, a meal. While it appeared petty from my younger self, in hindsight, it also made me realize why I did this, and it was because I wanted to send a message that no one dictates my life, and that I'll wear what I want to wear. While to others, it was a trivial matter. To me, it was one way of me clinging on to my independence and the ability to make my own decisions instead of conforming to everyone's opinions and expectations.
Very interesting. They try to not get possessed by the hive mind that automatically exists whenever a group takes form. This doesn't mean that INFJ females always get this right. No, The balance between the social self and the authentic self is a very tough one to manage properly, and an ongoing internal tug-of-war that is part of the proverbial INFJ's plight in life. Nonetheless, INFJ females stand out when acting independently of the group, because in general, it's expected more of women to conform to the group or to sacrifice themselves for the group. 3. INFJ females are sensitive and emotional, but hide it. When we look at the societal norm, it seems that females are allowed to be sensitive and display vulnerable emotions, sadness, shame, guilt, in public, except for anger. Therefore, females may be more comfortable showing their emotions. Most men, however, hide their sensitivity and vulnerable emotions because they are most likely looked down upon by themselves and others for having them. INFJ females tend to be highly sensitive, but hide their sensitivity and tender emotions too, despite the permeating societal hall pass permitting females to be sensitive and show so-called negative emotions. INFJ females hide their sensitivity and emotions because they want to stay strong, in control, and taken seriously. They don't like to be seen as vulnerable unless it's by a deeply trusted friend or family member. INFJs in general tend to be very private and slow to truly trust others. Showing off your emotions too easily may put you at risk of becoming a target of disdain or people with malicious intent. INFJ females may also hide their sensitivity and vulnerable emotions, because even as females they may have been shunned, shamed, or ridiculed because of their feelings by their family and peers who deemed them hypersensitive. Did you experience this as well, INFJ female?
This I can relate to as well. I think more than being shunned or shamed, we are usually mocked at for being oversensitive. I'm not sure if this applies across the board, but INFJs usually tend to be highly sensitive people, HSPs as well. For instance, whatever that a normal person feels, for instance if they feel sad, that feeling gets magnified 10x for us, except that as we were growing up, people always laughed at us for being too serious, intense, and taking everything so seriously. So as we grow older, we learn the tricks of the trade and keep these feelings to ourselves. Call it our self-coping, self-defense mechanism, if you will. But we feel, if we were to say it out, not only will we be mocked, we will not be understood, and our feelings not given the necessary priority.
That seems like the INFJ's plight in life, right? Whether it were intense emotions or their unique way of looking at the world fostered by their sensitivity, there's a good chance INFJ females weren't understood. The INFJ females' heightened sensitivity and intense emotions, even as females with the societal hall pass, might have been too much for their social circles. To avoid further shame, INFJ females tend to hide their vulnerable parts and innermost thoughts and feelings. 4. INFJ females are loners. A recent neurochemistry study found that females find same-sex social interactions to be more rewarding than males find same-sex social interactions rewarding. Now, it's not clear that there's any scientific consensus on this subject, yet it seems to be in line with the societal axiom that females in general tend to be more oriented toward interpersonal relationships. It seems that many females are socially more aware, adept, and engage more in social interaction to help regulate their own emotions and those of others by talking about their feelings and experiences. Often you'll hear that females have one or two best girlfriends on speed dial, that they'll discuss anything major or minor with almost on a daily basis. They'll meet with those close friends frequently too, and invest in a valuable, intimate reciprocal bond. In contrast, INFJ females tend to be loners. They might have a few close friends, but moments of contact are most likely less frequent. INFJ females need their solitude for emotional regulation and submersion in contemplation and creativity. Please chime in, INFJ female.
Yes, we do. We are lone wolves and go at it alone, not because we have no choice, but we make that choice almost every single time. This also has to do with another point. I'm not sure if you want to include it, but it's how much we value privacy. Not only are we fiercely private, we avoid the limelight like the plague. Yes, we appreciate any acknowledgements, but if you give us over-the-top comments or compliments, which throws us into the spotlight in front of a group of people, we would be extremely embarrassed.
Yes, that need for privacy is a good addition. They don't like to talk about every little thing or go back and forth all day on the phone via text, voice messages, or phone calls and keep people in the loop. INFJ females tend to be very comfortable being alone and are never bored. The vivid inner world of their mind is always leading them to appealing abstract concepts and creative ideas to explore and act on. It's often in solitude where they'll start creating, and they need to give expression to that creative impulse to stay mentally healthy. This is not to say that other women can't be creative. Personally, I find that the loner side of the INFJ is being romanticized too much. INFJ females and INFJs in general dream of beautiful romantic relationships too. With their empathy, generosity, and heightened sensitivity, they are actually built for meaningful relationships. Yet, their love life will always consist of a love triangle with solitude. And that remains an ongoing challenge in their interpersonal relationships. Thanks so much for your insights, INFJ female.
Hope it helped. Let me know if you would like any further insight. I hope this is not too generic for you, but some of them were really born out of the experiences which I've been through. If you don't mind, I would even love to hear about your experiences and in what ways they differ from mine.
Yes, me too. All the INFJ females out there, please leave your thoughts and experiences as an INFJ female in the comments. I respond to all of them. Also, let us know if you liked the INFJ female collaboration. Watch this video next.